I know everybody, but Dan Myers with the Double Pike Sports Community Center, Executive Director and Founder. I'm here for a couple reasons, actually threefold. One, to continue to kind of cultivate our relationship with what we're doing in the community, tying into enrichment and really the quality of life for Lewis County. And that's the essential components of what we do, is improving the quality of life here. Second, as you know, a number of years ago we received some funding. And a part of that funding, we asked that we could have someone from the legislative boards as part of our board, kind of a liaison, so we could continue to talk with you guys, let you know what we're doing with funding and how we're developing our programming and where we're going in the future. All right, and then lastly, kind of let you know where we're going next with everything that we're doing and how we're continuing to reach out, make connections, develop our network, whether it be an MOU like we've done with the OFA, Office of the Aging, and most recently working with the county with creating health memberships and trying to improve people's health, making the workplace better and healthier. So that's kind of where we're at. And one of the key things I think we're going to start with is our summer recreation enrichment program. We know that there's a lot of areas of need, especially with youth. And remember, we serve from age 3 to 93. So we have such a wide demographic. We know that in this area we have to be a key asset to the community. The schools cannot do it all. And that's where we kind of come into play as a community center and how we can develop and do things. Thank you. So how we partner with people really makes a difference in Lewis County, and we're doing that with every program that we create and develop. One of the concerns and one of the needs when we receive funding, and we spoke with everyone from all the different areas in the county, was, well, listen, this isn't just lava. We need to serve a greater purpose, and that's what we did. We strategically developed programming south of the county. We continue to have issues with overdoses and drug use. Well, a lot of that is because a lot of kids, especially at a young age, how can we grab them? How can we take what's great within their own beings? How can we develop and create opportunities for them where they don't choose these other paths? And as we get older, we can continue to create those opportunities. So we created an opportunity through enrichment, not just through sports, but physical activity, enrichment, arts, and things like that, including everyone. And when we do that, everyone can prosper. With this, we offer activities not just for youth with our summer program, but also for adult fitness and programs as well. Our adult wellness programs are heavily attended. We have a water aerobics program, and because of that, we've connected with the Office of the Aging, and now we're doing evidence-based programming with the Office of the Aging. So now that we can provide free programming where it was $3 to $5 a session, now we can provide funding. The OFA, we're helping them create those evidence-based programs through state funding. So we see that as a great opportunity for us to continue to reach out a wider base of demographics, not just through water aerobics, but we're also going to be doing Tai Chi, which we know through the Arthritis Foundation. Those are key components for mobility, functional development, and fitness for everyone on the different levels. This is just a glimpse of the wide array of programming that we provide. Obviously, swim is a huge asset utilizing the school, but we do music, we do fit and fun, your basic programming, but it is truly encompassing from arts to wellness and fitness. And one of the key areas of this, we talked about utilizing funding. The town and the village of Lawville, when they came to us and asked us to begin taking over the program, there was roughly about 35 to 45 kids attending the summer program. Because we're set up a way to develop programming and we have a template for that, I mean, that's what we're designed to do as a nonprofit community center. We designed a strategic program that can encompass a lot of different people, and we developed it, and within a year we went from 50 they had the year before to 170. All right. From that, you're going to see in a moment we've gone up over 200. Because of the programming and the nature that we did, there was a shortfall. They didn't have enough in their budget. So obviously that's where the county came in. And we said strategically when we did this that we wanted it to open up to the whole county. It wasn't just going to be just for the village and town of Lawville. Because we're utilizing funding that was gifted to us to create these programs, we wanted everyone in the county to benefit. And that's one of the key areas that we wanted to do. So when you look at the benefits of a healthy county, obviously it's more productive. It's huge for resident retention. If we've got residents that see they've got opportunities here other than just work And obviously, we have a lot of recreational sports outside with our hunting and fishing and snow sledding and four-wheeling. But there's other things that are important for us. So that's where we see this opportunity growing, and it continues to grow, and our numbers indicate that. We actually had someone come in, she worked at the hospital, Michelle Woods was her name, and she actually did an analysis and assessment. If we are not doing due diligence as far as assessing what we're strong in and what we're weak in, we're not going to improve the areas that we need to, so we can come and show the public that we're doing certain things that we need to do. So we're always cognizant of making changes and improving. And I think that when she looked at the whole program as a whole, she saw the huge need for a larger staff, having a well-trained staff. One of the things that we've looked at with this, based on that, with that need, is going strategically to colleges in the area. JCC, Cortland, Ithaca, Brockport, Potsdam. All of those schools have college students who are in need of opportunities, a live classroom, so to speak. So we are really working on developing that staff this year, so they have a real functional component to look at when they take back, and their experience, because they've already had a couple years of college, they're more mature, and it gives a better experience for the kids, and more importantly, it gives a better experience for the families. We continue to see funding due to lack of municipal budgets. We know that's difficult. We help to try to provide the gap funding, which we've received either in grants from other foundations or like from the county, which we've done. So we see it as a huge benefit to everyone in a county, not just a couple different municipalities or townships. Just some snapshots. It's always important to kind of see visual aid. I'm a learner through visual aid, so I've got to see kind of what we're doing. This gives you an idea. It's not just fun and games. They're actually doing some STEM training, so you can see they're thinking, thought-based, teamwork. Here's some fitness, all right, and there's some of our art stuff. This is what we really want to see, all right? People want to see quantitative and qualitative data. So this was the first year that we took over, all right? We were at 188 participants, up from 50 participants, based on how we promoted through multimedia, social media, signups, and what we were providing. So everyone here can see the numbers. Obviously, Laville is probably the largest, obviously, and then we kind of branch down from there. But everyone's got a little piece of the puzzle, and that was our goal in 2018, was to even broaden that more so you could see where people are coming from and how they're utilizing the services that we're providing. And this is a glimpse of the summer program. Here's 2018. So we increased again. We've also added our family, swim, and water aerobics to that too. You notice 197 attended sessions. So obviously there's some people that attended multiple times, but still, that's a huge opportunity for people to continue the quality of life and needs for basic wellness in everyday living. If you look at that, we broke down even more. We broadened our spectrum of who we're serving and where we're serving. Numbers are growing in certain areas. And we're even getting people that have local camps and things like that. We get some of them that come up and are benefiting from this as well. Then we broke it down with some age groups, so you can kind of see exactly where we're at. Obviously, the 5 to 7 is a huge component of that, 8 to 12, and we broadened it to 11 to 12 when we took over, just because they had it so young. We don't want those kids left behind. That is a key area where they can find themselves involved in different areas that they need to make some smart decisions. So let's give them some structured programming that benefits them long term. And as you can see, we really want to start to develop our early teen, and I think you'll see at the end of the presentation where we're headed with that and what we want to do to really take part in developing that in the future. Am I going too fast for these? Okay. Feedback. These are just some basic things that we had received from people. We always do a survey at the end of the summer, so you can see what the community is thinking, what they would like to see, and it gives us something to look at in the future. Because of the programming funding components, we used to do field trips. Well, we had to cut those field trips out, so we only did one last year, and we did that at the end of the year. We took everyone to Whetstone Gulf. In the past, they've taken them to different beaches, Enchanted Forest, things like that, but we really had to cut back and limit it, and we really decided because of the limitations that we were going to hone in on developing programming first, and then once we developed relationships and things like that with either foundations or grants or townships, started to do some sharing with that component. When they saw the numbers that people were coming in, then we would look at bringing that back in and developing that further. So acknowledgements and kind of sponsors who really helped us last year. Village of Lowville, Town of Lowville. Obviously our board of directors are committed to continuing the summer program and even outreach. When we look at outreach, one of the things that we talked about developing satellite, we also started a Port Leyden program, and we'll get into that in a minute, as well as our Turin program. Looking to the future, a couple key areas of concern. Obviously, the school, we pay roughly about between $2,500 and $3,500 for school rental to Lowville Academy for usage. Village budget cuts and financial restraints, that includes town and even in the county. I mean, I know everyone's under some constraints. So how do we broaden that opportunity through grant writing and things like that? There's opportunities out there that I think if we network the right way, I think we can develop it and not put all the auspice on taxpayers alone. Obviously the program was too short. We had cut it to 4 weeks. And at 4 weeks, it's even hard to get a college kid to commit to that sort of job for only 4 weeks because they can't really make enough money during the summer. So that was a real issue too, getting quality employees, especially college students. When we look at this here, we really see us the ability to develop a countywide program through with different towns and things like that. Just because we've got such a template and an opportunity to help develop, we're open and we're getting calls continuously of how we can do outreach. Copenhagen was the last one that I just received a phone call about looking next year to developing a program there, either a 2-day or 3-day program. I think this really hits home for everybody of what we're doing and you as legislators of what you're giving back to the community when we share opportunities and resources. A family with 2 children, a daycare, say 5 weeks, $25 per child, it's roughly about $12.50. And we have over 15 families of multiple people within our programs. That's $18,000 we're saving them for a free program that they can put back into the local economy. All right, that's gas, that's food, that's groceries, that's restaurants. That's a lot of opportunity that they have to put dollars back into their pockets and put back into local businesses. I think that's a huge component to what we're trying to do and how we're trying to serve. And if we can continue to cultivate those relationships in a positive way, I think we can even broaden that more. Any questions on any of that so far? Port Leyden Recreation. We know that it's pretty desolate there at times for people, but one of the most phenomenal resources in that community is this pool for the summer. All right, I wish we had one here, especially an outdoor one. But that is a huge component to what allowed us to start to develop a program there. And we've started a 2-day program. This will be the 3rd year in a row that we've done that. And we provide funding for that. And thankfully through Pratt Northern, we're also able to use some of the workership program to utilize that down there specifically. In the groups of people, we've roughly started to service anywhere between 25 to 35 people a summer. We've gone from guitar lessons, recreation, swimming. So obviously, I continue to show you where we're trying to broaden it and not just pigeonholed into one component. And we see the ability to grow there, positive to say the least. And this gives you a little bit about the glimpse of where we're at there. Obviously, right there immediately, we know that transportation is a huge issue, and that's something that we would really like to continue to work with the planning department, Cassandra specifically, and how we can develop opportunities there to get more kids involved. And we see that as an opportunity that we can grow with. Because we know that area is ripe for development. Could this work in Harrisville? Can this work in Beaver Falls? Yes. And I know that Beaver Falls or Krogan has a recreation component there, but with that park there, we could do a lot more. We really could. I think that's a great opportunity. Where are we going? What are we doing? Well, this is a great opportunity, and I'm excited to show you this because we're right now in the middle of renovating a senior and teen activity center just down the street, which is now, it's Duflo's Realty building, which is right across from the fire hall, right next to Dr. Palmerville's. This opportunity is going to be huge for seniors and specifically for teens. We're going to have a number of programs developed for senior specific. So they have one place they know they can always go to and have an opportunity to create programming for themselves or be involved in some of the things that we have laid out already. And this is specifically designed based on what people have told us, what people have asked. We always have our ears to the sidewalk of what we can do to improve the area. So we're really excited about this opportunity for our seniors, and then networking with different agencies in the community. We're really excited about what this is going to bring over the next year and beyond. From the youth standpoint, this is really going to connect with a specific opportunity for them to do something, have a place they can call their own. What's nice about this is it's going to be connected with, we're going to work with a drug awareness program. So they're going to be able to be there and develop opportunities and networks that we think is going to be tremendous for the community at large. And what I like about this is this whole component is a template to put in other areas. So it's roughly about 1,200 square foot. We could do this same template in Port Leyden. We can do this same template in Beaver Falls. We can do this same template in Harrisville. So no matter what location you're in or who you represent, your constituents, you could take this and say, listen, we can make this happen and at a very affordable cost. We're looking right now for seniors, and it's going to be roughly $1 to come in and participate, just to come in and walk in the door and enjoy those things, and for teens, $3. So we know our demographic, all right? We want to make it affordable, but they have to have some skin in the game too. It just can't be just free for everybody. There is a little bit there, and we always help people. No one is denied access to anything we do, so we always have that opportunity. But at least they know there's something that helps us to keep those doors open and keep those lights on, and continue to develop those networks. Do you have the drawing of that, actually? I can go back to, if you want to put that up, and then I'll go to the timeline of that. So this is actually the layout of the new teen center and senior center. What's nice about it is we're going to be able to provide that kind of that generational gap component. So we're going to be able to teach some of the seniors how to utilize Facebook to follow their sons and daughters and their grandkids. We'll have teens that are over to Laval School or anywhere through the National Honor Society that come in and teach them how to use their phone, teach them how to access different things on a computer, look up different things, and then also just some basic stuff. I know there's a lot of guys in here that play pool, so it gives them an opportunity to come in, have a cup of coffee, and enjoy the company. We're actually trying to find a vintage diner table and one of the old records where you put your quarter in, so they can come sit down and have a little nostalgic component to that. So that's what we're working on there. Music, we have guitars, we have a number of different music things. We've got some records. Yes, we have records. We even have some 8-tracks. We bought a component so people can come in and check that out. So you'll be able to have these seniors and even the younger kids be able to see kind of the history of music, so to speak. So we'll do a lot of our lessons and programs in there with our guitars and things like that. Computer area in the back, that we'll do a lot of that different things. We see this as kind of even a workforce development area for these teams. Resume building, things like that, checkbook ability, to learn how to do simple banking. Things that they don't do in school anymore, we'll be able to provide that component here. Our kitchen, we really see this as a great opportunity. We've recently met with the ARC. They're very excited about the opportunity to put on some dinners or lunches for seniors with their programs that they have. So we really want to work on getting a functional kitchen in here. A certified kitchen is going to be phase 2 of this. So we're working with different agencies to see how we can develop that. Sewing classes. We purchased a number of sewing machines, and we've had sewing classes in the past from school when they had their last auction. So we've utilized that. We just haven't had a place to do it because we're limited with spacing and things of that nature. So this is that opportunity for us to get back involved in that. And then the back area, we'll have our card games, our chess, we'll have a chess league, tables for board games, and we're going to do the video games. That's such a huge draw. We need to really provide that component to them as well. And for our classic movie days, we'll have a projector in the back. So it really encompasses a wide variety of opportunities for our seniors and our teens. So the board has been waiting for an opportunity like this, and I think that this is something that really benefits the community as a whole. And I think once seniors get in here, they're going to be excited about the opportunity as well as teens. And we hope to be open by mid-June with that project. Long term, we always like to have a long-term plan. Can you show the timeline, Adam, for the project? Right there. Okay. As you know, we've been continuing to work on our project, our capital campaign for a community center. All right. And what's nice about what we've provided here is a real timeline, and that continues. Obviously, you guys know with any project, it's always a working document. So we most recently finished our feasibility study on the 7 acres of land, which is right behind the co-op, and that is owned by Verklers, which we have a contract on. And part of the contingency of the contract, it needed to meet our needs for our project, our building. So hence we did a feasibility study. Now that that feasibility study is done, we hope to close on that property by August is our hopes. We're in the middle of, we're about ready to launch a land campaign for $50,000 to purchase it outright. We've already raised $10,000 in the last 2 weeks with 2 founding member donors. So we're hoping to launch that, and that's just a soft campaign. So we're hoping within the next 6 weeks to launch that, and you'll see that out and about of how we can continue to develop that network and have that property under our auspice free and clear so we can utilize that for matching grants and things like that. The next component of that will be securing funding sources. We're in the middle of, we work with, we have a strategic planning committee. We work with the IDA, with our board members and community members, and also the planning department to align ourselves with either CFAs or different opportunities, state, federal, and obviously we have a number of private foundations that we work with to continue to develop that. So that's long term. Obviously we'd love to be open by the fall of 22, but a lot of it hinges on how things open up with our funding sources, how we continue to network with those foundations, and obviously our relationships with municipalities. That really helps us as we start to look at other options. So it's not something we've just kind of thrown in the mix. You can see we started very small, 2011 when we started our programming. When we took over control of the fitness center, that showed a lot of the community members that we weren't just a youth fitness or a youth recreation. That broadened it. And then once we started making partnerships with LFA and then the county, and then the county started helping us with broadening our spectrum on wide county programming, things really started to open up. And I think we continue to grow today. Can I answer any questions? Because I could talk for probably 4 or 5 hours on what we'd like to do. Sure.
Come on. You know, I think it's important too for the villages and towns who use this to put some money towards it to help out. Are you getting more and more participation from these small towns?
Yeah, and that was the key area when we decided to, we had to show them where they were coming from. So now that we have this quantitative and qualitative data, we can sit down in front of those municipalities and start to say, listen, there's a bigger piece of the pie here. How can we utilize this data to let them know that, you know, their residents are utilizing our programming here? Because the majority of them are, the parents are utilizing this and they go to work at the hospital or they're working at, you know, in the village here somewhere. But they live in Krogan or they live in Harrisville or things like that. So we see this as the only way that we can start to develop that relationship where they start to have some skin in the game with a bigger picture of things. Because unless they see the real numbers, you know, I mean, they don't realize, you know, who's actually utilizing the program.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dan?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.